Let's solve one previous question of mathematical logic. This question was asked in GATE CS 2017 set 1 question number 29. Let P, Q, R be propositions and expression P implies Q implies R be a contradiction. Then the expression R implies P, whole implies Q is, and 4 options are given. In case of implication, let X implies Y. It will be false when true implies false, means X is true and Y is false, rest it will be true. So true implies true is true, false implies true is true, false implies false is true. So only it is false when X is true and Y is false. Here it's given R implies P, whole implies Q. So when this Q will be true, it will be always true. You can mark here Y is true. So when Y is true, it is true. It will be only false when X is true and Y is false. So if this Q will be true, then this whole implication will be always true, as there is no chance of false. For false, first part should be true, second part should be false. If this Q is true, then whatever the R implies P, whether it's true or false, this whole implication will be always true. So answer will be option D. It always true when Q is true. So in case of any implication, it always true when the second part is true. This is one way of solve. So directly from this implication, R implies P, whole implies Q, we can say it will be always true when Q is true. Answer will be option D. Let's check this expression. Here it's given P implies Q, whole implies R is a contradiction. Contradiction means it should be always false. Tautology means it should be always true. Contingency means it's mix of true and false. Here it's given contradiction. This is wrong. It should be given that it's false. It cannot be contradiction. Contradiction means always false. It's not always false. You can say it's a contingency mix of true and false. So let me consider this as a false, like P implies Q, whole implies R. This will be false when R is false and P implies Q is true. So there can be three cases: P true, Q true, R is false. So true implies true, true, then true implies false, it's false, or P is false, Q true. So false implies true, true implies false, it will be false, or false, false, false. So P implies Q will be false implies false, true implies false, it will be false. But when P true, Q false, R false, like true implies false, it will be false, false implies false, it will be true. So this is not the case. Only in these three cases it will be false, as R is false and this left part is true. Now check the option. Option A, R implies P, whole implies Q is a tautology. So in case of this, R implies P, false implies true, it will be true, true implies true, it will be true. Now in second case, false implies false, true, true implies true, it will be true. Now in third case, false implies false, R is false, P is false, so false implies false, it will be true. Now true implies false, it will be false. As we are getting false, so it's not a tautology. In case of this case 3, it's false, so it is not a tautology. Next, option B is a contradiction. Let's check. R implies P, whole implies Q. Is a contradiction or not? Contradiction means it should be always false. Now in case of 1, R is false, P is true. False implies true, it's true. Then true implies true, it's true. As we are already getting true, so it's not a contradiction. For contradiction, it should be always false. In case of case 2 also, false implies false, it's true, true implies true, it's true. So in case of both case 1 and case 2, the truth value is true, so it's not a contradiction. It's neither contradiction nor tautology, it's a contingency, mix of both true and false. Next option C, always true when P is false. In case 2 and case 3, P is false. Now check R implies P, whole implies Q. Now I'm checking case 3. So R is false, P is false, Q is false. False implies false, it's true. True implies false, it's false. It's written it's always true when P is false, but here we found for P false, it's not always true. In case 3, when P is false, we are getting this whole implication R implies P, whole implies Q is false. So that's why option C is wrong. Next option D, always true when Q is true. This is true. When the second part is true, this whole implication will be true. Now check from these three cases. R implies P, whole implies Q. Now Q will be true. So in first case, R false, P true. False implies true, it's true, true implies true, true. Now in second case, R is false, false implies P, false, whole implies true. False implies false, it's true, true implies true, it's true. So whenever second part is true, the whole implication will be true. Here Q true means whole implication will be true. In case of implication, it will be only false when first part is true and second part is false. Like in case of X implies Y, X is true and Y is false, it will be false, rest it will be true. So there is no chances of false when Q is true. That's why answer will be option D. I already discussed implication, just go through the lecture, and if this lecture is helpful for you, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.